Okay, we're good. We can.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this super late night Venture Maidens stream.
Ooh, Maidens After Dark.
I know. Well, it's like only an hour later, but it feels like way later. I don't know.
It's also later for me over here.
Yeah, because Nassim's traveling, so that's why we had to delay the hour back.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out an hour later.
Yeah. But so that means we're playing till 10 Pacific time. So it's going to be neat. All right. And I got some fancy Shandong that I'm drinking tonight, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. It was on sale at Safeway.
Very nice.
I'm drinking the Hollis cider that was sent to all of us by our wonderful fans.
Yes. I still haven't had mine yet, but I'm so excited.
I'm a total hussy and drank all of mine. Without recording, I just drank it like a golem in the dark.
That's the definition of hussy, when you drink booze you own, not with your friends.
Alone.
Yeah, that's the best way to drink.
Hussy drinking.
What are you drinking tonight?
Russian not Russian. Excuse me. It is not Russian, but it is an imperial stout by Lagunitas.
Oh, what are you drinking, Nassim?
I'm having a Sierra Nevada.
Yay! Woo, it's lit. We're all drinking tonight. It's going to be great. Episode 33. It's going to be awesome. All right. So I guess let's go ahead and get it started. Welcome officially to episode 33 of the Venture Maidens Podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Celeste Konowich.
I am your Elven Warlock, Arne Delethil, played by Brittany.
I'm your Human Monk, Sayanur, played by Nassima Tamad.
And I'm Sage, and I play Kara.
Yay! And we decided that we're going to have a really good recap this episode. So I'm really excited to hear you guys tell me what happened last time on Venture Maidens.
No pressure.
Nope.
And now begins the worst recap.
By necrotic damage.
I hate when that happens.
I got 5 points of health taken, or 5 points of strength, and a lot of health taken away from me. So I'm a weak.
Shadows.
Yeah.
What was the context of that? Where did we start?
From when we were in the room with the crystals that we had just destroyed, and then suddenly it got dark, and these shadow things started coming out of the ground and attacking us. And we determined that they were necrotic.
Yeah, they're undead creatures.
Undead?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, we kind of failed at first in fighting them. Obviously, Arndale got fucked.
Yep.
And...
sideways through a pole.
Oh. What?
That's exactly how I felt. What?
Meanwhile, Kara she had just climbed up this chute that went up and found herself, oh, where's my little map that I made? Oh,
map?
No.
Get the map out.
That's my map. I forgot it. Oh, no. Oh, jeez, guys. I'm not going to know where I am.
Oh, jeez.
Right, relax.
Just get it.
It's around there somewhere.
Just a little bit to the right.
Where did you last leave it?
I was on my desk, and oh, jeez, oh, God, I don't know where it is, and I'm very upset. All right, anyway,
okay, that is your next fucking character at some point in whatever game we play.
The next NPC.
My impersonation of Linda Belcher's sister.
Oh my God,
Gail.
Gail.
Anyway,
Gail.
I went up to the chute, and then there was a left and a right, and looked like there was a pit down there that I heard things moving around and about, hordes of undead zombies just trying to claw out. And so I went off to the left because that's where I saw where the barrier had just dropped. And then tons and tons of zombies crawled out, and not a troll zombie. Was it a giant?
Was ogre zombie.
Ogre zombie. There we go.
It was a chill zombie.
Other large thing.
Ogre zombie.
Ogre zombie came out, and Kara had an epic moment of using her helm of shattering to throw off a horde of them. It was hacking and slashing, and they finally got the other two the last barrier down because Nassim's character found
Yeah, what was happening upstairs?
You guys were stuck for a while.
Yes.
Brittany.
Sorry.
Brittany was very concerned, paranoid about trying to deal with this hallway, and as was I. And we lingered for a while, trying to figure out what to do. Called Valerius. He was like, "Figure it out." And,
He's super helpful.
after going through the door a couple times, realizing it would bring us, just back around to the other side or the same side we were on, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna jump through these lasers." Rolled a sweet ass natural 20.
Yeah.
Did some acrobatics to the other side and
sick
searched
flips.
the room one more time and saw there was another a little sneaky stone hiding from us, and I went in there, threw a fireball, killing the last of them shadow guys, and smashed the rock.
Hell yeah. And then we jump back down to Kara, so the gate got dropped. Then Kara made her way through, and then what the hell happened next?
Then she finally got to the holding area with the cell with Rem in it, and she opened up the bag and was like, "Here, Valeria sent this for you. He said you would know what to do." And she opened it up, and it was this crazy, like, automaton thing that she transferred her, like, consciousness into. And was like, "All right, are you ready to go?" Cara's like, "Ugh, I don't like this." And, like, yeah, and then Rem's body was reanimated as just basically this, like, random consciousness in her body. It's just like, help, let me get out. I'm not supposed to be here. It's very odd.
Did it have
And
the
so
same voice as Rem?
It sounded like the same voice, yeah. And then from the other side of the room, because she had started screaming, like, help me, and then something had run at you.
Oh god,
remember what that was? A big old frog thing?
Oh yeah, the slod.
You don't know
I
it's
don't know
that.
it's a slod.
All right. And that is where we're going to pick up. As you had heard, now there's this girl standing in the cage screaming at the top of her lungs for someone to come and help her. And you had heard the pattering of feet coming from the far side of the room, and you'd seen this large frog-like creature with red scales just charging at you from the darkness. And you feel the hand of a mannequin was like patted on your shoulder standing next to you. Mm-hmm. And that's where Kara's at. And let's roll some initiative.
Ooh, boy. Starting off with an ass kicking.
Woohoo!
I love it. All right, 14.
Okay.
Can I ask, is the mannequin dressed in anything, or is it just pure wood? What does it look
so
like?
It's made of, imagine those like artist drawing models, that are made of wood.
Yeah.
And then have like metallic ball joints. It basically is a full-size person of one of those.
Does it have a face carved into it?
It does not have a face carved into it. Right now it is shining vaguely with blue arcane sigils that had activated from the moment Rem touched it. So it's just like someone has written all over it in like a glow pen is what it looks like.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty odd. Oh,
Delicious.
My monster's rolling like crap. It's gonna be one of those nights, huh? Excellent. Okay, so the first thing that happens, Kara, before you kind of even get your footing and you're like drawing out your weapon, you get tapped again on the shoulder by this mannequin thing, and it seems to be making a gesture like towards you and towards itself. And then it makes like a raising its hand stabbing gesture.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it needs a weapon.
I give her 2 of my hand hammers. Oh no, I don't. I give her my axe, and I take out my spear.
Ooh, the big axe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Give me the stats for that real quick.
Yeah, that one is just a regular battle axe, and then it's a 1d8 slashing damage.
8 slash, and then it's got the shocking on it too.
It's got the shocking on, but I already used it for today, and it didn't recharge.
Okay. All right. So you hand over your axe, and the thing, it doesn't have a face, but it looks down at its axe, like that you put into its hands, and looks up at you and kind of tilts its head, and then just raises it. It's sort of an awkward gesture. There are fingers sort of carved in, but they're very rudimentary. Like this thing clearly wasn't meant to be a fully opposable thing. And then this this mannequin, just sort of takes a defensive stance, squaring off with you. And then it is your turn. So you see right now the red frog creature is about 30 feet away from you. It's running beeline because there were 3 large floor-to-ceiling cages in this room.
Right.
And it's beelining right between the cages, just towards you. Totally unreserved. And burping. And hopping.
Frog croak burps. All right, I'm going to use my bonus action to Hulk out. And then with her spear, she's going to run at it to meet it and stab it in the face.
All right. Roll for stabbing in the face.
Gladly.
Aye.
Oh man, I wish I get a crit on a 19.
Boo.
Boo, I should have been that other fighter thing. All right, well that's a 27 to hit.
Yes.
Here's my D8.
Yes, indeed.
And 11 damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And then her second one is going to be 16 to hit.
Okay. 16 will hit.
Excellent. And then we'll do 12 damage.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
All right. And then looks angry. And as you get closer to it, now it's glowing sort of yellow eyes that are just like popped on top of its head. You can see the eyes, the pupils rolling around to look at you, and it makes like a
frog pupils
sound, and its long tongue lolls out for a minute, and then it moves with a lightning speed as it is gonna attack you with 3 different attacks. So first, it's going to bite you.
Oh, weird frog mouth.
I'm guessing what's your AC? So I know.
21.
God. Stupid. All right. So
stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't hit you. But then claw number 1 will not hit you. And claw number 2 will not hit you. This thing is just like, yeah, and it comes at you and it tries to do a hug thing to get you with the claws and chomp, and you're just under its height level, like, what? And maybe you're like smacking it aside with the spear. So it doesn't land a hit. And then you hear a little sound of clattering as wooden feet run across. And then you see Rem side runs behind it. So you're officially flanking with this creature as it's the two of you. And you hear a thunking sound, and the spurt of black red ichor shoots out of it between its shoulder and its neck as she lands a solid blow on this thing.
Nice. Tara yells out, "Good job! I see you got no strings on you." How does that song go again?
You can't hear anything. If she has an opinion about that horrible joke, you can't hear it.
All the better.
Okay. All right. And then while this is happening, we're actually going to jump back to our maidens upstairs. All right. So, Saye, just as we left you off, you had discovered the final crystal and given it a shattering blow. And as that had happened, the lights in the room had flickered back to life. So this room is no longer in darkness. You can't see any traces left of the shadow creatures that you fought off. It's like they evaporated with the light. And as you turn around to look in the hallway behind you, you hear a sound, and all of the lasers that had crossed this room are gone. And Arnadel, you see with your magic vision, the magic just dies out in this hallway, and you actually, looking behind you, the door itself has also lost its magic sheen.
I wait for Sawya to get back over here. But I use Awaken Mind to tell her, hey, shit, it's gone down. Like, hurry up, we gotta get out of here.
You're staring at each other from across a long hallway.
Yeah, I'll be right there. She just sprints on over.
All right, you make it down. You're standing in front of the pair of double doors that last time you were opening them up were just putting you back in the same room. But now as you look at the doors, you feel pretty confident that whatever magic was doing that has been deactivated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sneaking a peek then outside the door to see what the men that were in the circle are doing right now, if they're still meditating or staring into if they're balls deep in them crystals.
See, that was a joke we said before we were live, and I'm glad you brought it back.
Yeah.
All right,
Deep
yeah.
in
So
them crystals.
go ahead and make a stealth for me to see how quietly you open this door.
Okay, I have to do it on the floor because I don't have a surface around me.
Oh man,
Oh, it's
top
fine.
decking. Oh.
That's a modified 20.
All right. So you're very quiet as you do this, and as you peek your head into the room, the same ambient light fills the place, but it's very quiet. And you kind of peek your eyes out a little bit further, and you see the bodies of the guards are all slumped over, like on their stations. One is lying on the floor. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ooh.
Intriguing.
This is scary. Ooh, okay. That was a natural 20.
Oh, geez.
Plus,
That's
plus
fine.
4.
A natural 20 will do it. You can very clearly make out the sounds of snoring coming from each of these bodies.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
So as you stick your head a little bit more out, it is definitely the case that all of these guards who came in before are just asleep. It looks like whatever they were doing, they just dropped to sleep.
Interesting.
You tell me. Do you?
I tell you, I open the door. I swing the door open completely wide, and I'm like, well, do you still want to go through this door?
I want to do a Arcana check to see if I can understand. Like, this is very odd to Arnadel.
Sure. Yeah, this is very odd to anyone.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. For a situation like this, where everybody is suddenly asleep and at the same time you think magic is definitely involved, there are a lot of different things that could affect people, make them magically sleepy. The sleep spell, I mean, if they all had like a potion of some kind, if they all ingested something, or maybe some other effect. But to take down all of these targets, that's pretty heap big magic. So somebody probably did this.
Saya, I'm still super weak, by the way, so I'm like shaky and like, we need to proceed with caution. This is really abnormal.
Okay. Yeah. Do you still want to go through this door?
We're pretty close to the exit, aren't we? We just have to go out this hallway, down the foyer, and then we're out.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So you can absolutely, if you want, follow the path back as you did to like the front kind of reception, the garden area where you started in.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Arnadel's like, I just want to get out of here.
Sure. Are you going stealthily, or what? When you get to the door across from the guard room, you knew that there were 2 guards stationed outside. How would you like to proceed?
I'm gonna be more inclined to follow what Saya does.
Yeah, you should follow behind me. I'll take the lead of like 10 feet and see if I can peep at these guards. See if they're also passed out.
Yeah. So you're opening the door?
Yeah. Stealthily.
Okay. Yes. So you use the exact same like cautious door opening technique. Which, what does that look like in real life? Who knows? It's that thing where you hold the doorknob all the way to the left, and as you open, and then like gently,
so it doesn't graze the latch at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you peek your head out, and true enough, you see 2 slumped over guards. Just looks like they just dropped where they were standing and are now like in 2 crumpled, snoring piles.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I gesture over to Arnagelda, like, we're good. Green light.
Okay, so I run over as quietly as I can.
Yeah. So just a reminder also, you have only about now 9 minutes left of the allotted time. You were supposed to do this all in 30 minutes. So just to keep that in mind.
Okay.
You got 9 minutes to get out of here.
Yeah. We should walk briskly down the hallway.
Yes.
So you keep making your way down the hall, and as you pass, you see not just guards have been affected by this. You see serving staff just collapsed in the middle of the hallway. People looking like they were carrying trays, food spilled everywhere, other guards that were in rotation. It's just like something hit this whole building. Just sent everyone to sleep.
Saw ya.
I bet it was hilarious.
I think this is I'm just speculating, but this might be a way for the aristocrats to know who tripped the alarm. We can't pretend like we don't know what's going on. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Well, yeah. No, I agree. We should just focus on getting out.
Should we
really
run? Should we run? It's
Well,
like a straight shot, right? Like just a straight
Yeah.
shot to the door.
Yeah, you just turn like right, left, whatever. You marked it in your mind, and you were made to study the map, so you know how to get exactly to that reception area you were in before.
Let's
If
go.
we ran there, how long would that take?
Like 4 minutes.
Okay.
All right, then.
It's a big castle. All right,
Yeah.
so you start sprinting. Everywhere, just sleeping people as you're running past, and you make it to the larger hallways that open up to the general public, and you're just booking it out to that main courtyard area, and you see that there is still an ornately carved carriage that is just there in the middle of the hallway. So like when all the big fuss was happening and the guy with the hair that looked like air was out there, 2 horses are just stamping, and they turn to look over at you. And as you kind of like catch your breath and see this carriage here, the door swings open, and the gentleman you saw from earlier with the pale blue skin and the air tumbled hair, did someone call for a ride? And he steps down, and he makes a gesture as he like looks at his wrist, and then it's not funny because watches aren't real in D&D. That's stupid.
It's got like a sundial.
So we're just like, is there something on you?
He's like, oh, he itches it. God, that was stupid.
We run in. Arnettel's
yeah.
like, she's too fucking exhausted to ask questions.
Yeah. You made it just in time, but have you heard from your friend?
Oh fuck! Hold on. You see her eyes kind of do a weird thing as she reaches into Alistar's mind and speaks through Alistar. Kara, we're in a carriage. Where are you?
We're in the middle of something, Toots.
You hear a belching scream from
Yeah.
some kind of creature come over the line.
I look. Okay. I turn and look over at Saya and the Genasi, and I'm like, I think Kara's in trouble.
Can you hang out and wait here for like 10 more minutes? We'll just go run and get her.
These people aren't going to stay asleep forever. Perhaps if you have an exit route, I can meet them there.
Okay. I relay this to Kara. Like, do you know where you're going to get out? We can swoop you there.
I'll figure it out one way or another. But I'm kind of in the middle of something.
And you hear someone going, help, in the background.
Well, we studied the map too. We can maybe go to an exit somewhere that we think she would come out with.
Right.
Rem.
So you can absolutely pull the carriage around to like where the sewer entrance is. So kind of on that back portion where Kara was climbing up through pipes. All right, then, everybody hold on. I'll pull the car around. Hop in. And so you all pile into the carriage. He actually hops up to like the footman's area and grabs the reins of both of the horses. And as you take a seat, it's a very luxurious little cabin that matches the ornate outsides of this carriage. So you're just sitting there, and you feel a jolting sensation. You hear a wheel bounce, and a weird feeling as suddenly you realize that the carriage isn't just moving forward, it's moving up. And you feel it rock back and forth as the horses are just seemingly climbing on air itself as the carriage begins to rise and take off into the sky.
Ooh.
That's
I'm so
cool.
excited.
I can show you the world.
Shining, shimmering. And you feel gusts of wind. You see, Arnadel, with your magic vision, that this elemental sort of power is coming and moving around the carriage. And you sense it's being channeled basically by this person.
Arnadel kind of looks over at Saya to see like what her Saya's expression is.
Oh, she's just like flying. Oh my god!
Yay!
I love this.
And you hear a voice call out, "I'm Rana, by the way. Lovely to meet you. I've heard great things." And another gust of wind comes by, and the carriage seems to stabilize after the rocky landing, and you are just flying over the gates of this palace now and coming down in a sharp arc to swing around towards the back of the palace.
I extend it's nice to meet you too. I'm sorry, I'm not in tip-top shape. I'm feeling terrible right now.
What?
A shadow touched me, and I feel like I lost 5 years of my life. That's a lot for an elf.
Over the roaring of wind coming, it's almost impossible to talk to each other. And we're going to jump back down, and Kara, it is your turn.
Oh boy.
So you are officially flanking with Rem.
Oh yes, now that she's got this. Now we've got this asshole on lockdown. All right, so she is going to use her, as her bonus action, use her shield to try and bash him down to the ground so we can just wail on this son of a bitch.
Love it.
All right, pose strength checks. Fucking yeah, I got a 27.
Damn. All right. Yeah, okay, 15. You win. To the surprise of everyone.
To everyone's shock and amazement. And then she is going to smack it, or stab it, I should say. A 15?
That will hit.
Excellent.
Just barely.
That will be 12 damage.
Okay.
And then a 23.
Yes.
And then it'll be 7 damage.
Okay. Doing quick math.
Boop, boop,
Da,
boop.
da, da, da. It's
that's
the
my
math.
turn.
Okay. All right, sweet. And then this thing is gonna try and come at you again.
It's prone, bitch.
It can still attack you.
Okay, very well.
It is not. It's not trying to stand up. It's on the ground now, trying to fight and claw at you. I believe it just has disadvantage. No, it doesn't. People have advantage to attack it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So one of its claws makes it. It's
Woo!
thrashing around on the ground, and like its tongue is wagging back and forth in the air, and it's trying to sink its large jaws on you and claw. And one of them, as it reaches up, it manages to rake along your side and like down towards your thigh. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Is it poison?
One. No.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna hate me so much.
Is that a natural 20?
Yeah, it is.
Why? How do you do that? I don't. Fine, whatever. That's fine. I still get to do damage. This is fine. I don't even. Stupid. All right. Well, you take 6 slashing damage.
All right.
And you are not diseased.
Jolly
Fine.
good. Very pleased about that.
Oh, very well. And then Rem is going to take advantage of her advantage. Unfortunately, an axe isn't a finesse weapon.
No, it is not.
What are you gonna do?
Hard doesn't even finesse.
Nope. Okay. She is going to. So she sinks a good blow in again. Okay. All right. All right, and then circling back, it is your turn, Kara.
All right, we're gonna keep on stabbing.
If it works, just keep doing it.
22.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll my next 2 hits, and then I'll just roll all the damage together to make it easy. Ooh, this might not do it. 14.
Just freaking yes. That's the
And
number.
Third one.
That's the one.
16. All right.
Yeah.
Where am I? Give me your d8s.
Is this in the monster manual or Volo's or Xanathar's?
Are you asking me to tell you what book my monster's in?
I just want to see it. I won't look at the stats.
18 plus 15, so that's 33 plus an additional 6. That's 39 damage altogether.
That is so stupid. You've burned through 140 damage in 3 rounds?
Guys, I'm so good at my job.
Yeah.
I don't
I need a promotion. I'm gonna demand a promotion from Kristoff when we get back.
Listen, sir.
Listen.
Let's get one thing straight. I can kill a slad in 18 seconds. Talk about that.
Oh, right.
All right. It does get one more turn. It's going to try and feebly, desperately, as you're hacking off its little frog limbs, get one more attack in on you. That's a nope. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We've got 2 claws coming in for you.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Oh, what is my modifier? That's a good question. All right, 16 and 21.
Okay, fine. You don't have any diseases.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't want to give one to get it.
Aren't you
Oh,
resistant?
you're looking out for Gidge.
Yeah.
All right. That's 18 slashing damage. As it's using just all of its might now. It's just going in crazy mode, slashing at anything it can get skin on.
I imagine it's like croaking at me and I'm yelling at it and there's blood on my face.
Slad, sladdy, slad.
It's like a Pokemon.
Slad. Sladdy. I gotta stop doing that. Too excited. Okay, and then
Oops.
All right. Oh, but it is Rem's turn. So yep. She's gonna chop its head off. Brings down the axe and just slams into it in its thick little frog neck. And you see a head go rolling off and just a tongue looping around behind it. And then it lands with a crunching squelch sound. And now that this thing is dead in front of you, you hear just sobbing coming from the cage that has Rem's body in it, as this girl is just crying on the floor now.
Kara yells, "Shut the fuck up!"
No one's going to help. What's going on? And she's just totally dissolved into a puddle of tears on the floor.
Oh, that's so disturbing.
And the mannequin starts tapping you again on the shoulder and pointing towards the exit.
Alright, like, yeah, let's get a fucking move on, alright?
Yep. And you all start running. So you know the way back. It's the longest takes you picking your way over the bodies that you left in your wake of the zombies. But you managed to pick your way through, and this time you're able to avoid the pit traps and take the correct pathway back to the main entrance. And in the nature of wonderful D&D, you all make it there at the same time. Just as
you're like running out the like chopper, like
we're so in sync.
Yeah. So Kara, you bust your way out of the sewer pipe, just come like flying down with this thing behind you. You hear a splash in the water as Rem's mannequin just can't handle the shock of it. Doesn't have joints, so it just hits something and clanks over and then picks itself back up.
Oh, poor thing.
Can I yell as she leaves? Like, remember guys, Between a Rock and a Hard Place? Kara, come with me! If you want to live!
If you want to live! So, and then at this point, the carriage, you're yelling this because the carriage itself is swooping in down, and it just, the hooves of the horses touch the water surface on the edge, and it just swings off. It's all very dramatic. Nice. As this happens.
Sexy. I love it.
And you all see each other, and Rana from the front sees like, all right, we don't have a ton of time for fond farewells, but get into the carriage. We've got to go.
But we do have time for a high five and a freeze frame.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
All right. So, and he mentions, my spell won't be lasting much longer. We have to get out of here.
Yeah, fucking get that gust of wind under these ponies' booties.
All right. Ooh. And you all get into the carriage, and there's this moment of the mannequin is again getting up. This is your first time seeing this, by the way?
Yeah. Both of you? Kara looks at Arnadell and is like, I didn't break her.
No, I'm looking at the magic.
You look at it with detect magic? Fucking gold artifact, blue enchantment, and black necromancy are all up in this thing.
This is probably Kara, this is the first time that you see Arnadell really fucking uncomfortable while like investigating a magical situation. Usually Arnadell's like, fuck yeah, magic. I love magic. But this time and she looks like shit, by the way, like more, like really bad from inside.
Oh, Arnadell looks like shit. That's cute.
Right. No, like I look like
Kara smells like fucking garbage.
Right.
And fire rules and
true.
Shit.
So I look at Kara and Sai, and I look at the mannequin that's Rem, and I'm like, I'm really uncomfortable with undead shit. I just need you to know that.
You're saying that to the mannequin?
Yeah.
It makes a shrugging gesture.
I'm like, I know this is not your choice, but fuck, like, I'm gonna sit over here and take a nap, and you guys I'm gonna lie down now.
Kara grows suddenly very quiet and standoffish and just sits awkwardly in the carriage.
Rem's mannequin, it puts a hand to its forehead and just shakes its head, and then kind of like leans like a shitty kid like out the window of the carriage and staring off. And you all take to the skies, and you notice now, so this all happened around, it was early-ish, so it was like 10 when this all started, so it's only about 10:30 now. The sun has started to be a little bit obscured as gray clouds have begun to roll in. It smells like rain. You get the first like pattering of drops passing by the carriage. And you take off. It's incredible just seeing the scenery unfold below you as you soar over Faelyn itself. So you see all of the buildings and just the vastness of this city. And your carriage is heading northwest from this point, which you recognize from the map would be heading back towards where the keep itself is.
Cool.
Would this ride
head is just about sticking out the side the whole time like a dog.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is this
whole carriage
a
is
short
incredible.
rest?
You should sit in the front with him.
I just want to get my strength back.
Sure, yeah. This will count as a short rest as you're enjoying the carriage. It's very pleasant. I mean, for, plummeting up above. It was kind of cold, especially now as it turns into like full-on rain and you're just brushing like underneath the clouds. It's crazy.
This is so cool, guys.
So I look at Sawyer and I'm like, you wanna... Did you see his chest hair?
It's blue. It's blue chest
You should
hair.
go and sit up there next to him.
He doesn't understand what you guys are like referring to. It's like, why? Is he cold?
Yeah, girl, he's cold. Go up there and warm him up.
Oh. Even the mannequin like swings its head back over and does this like air gesture like come on, and then goes back to shitty looking out the window.
Yeah, Sawyer.
Okay.
I don't have a love life, so I'm gonna live vicariously through yours.
I don't know where this is coming from at all, but
We're rooting for you. He's a cutie. I mean, like, he could be a total jerk, but he did just save our lives. He was our getaway car, and I think he's quite dreamy.
Okay, I'm gonna step out for a bio break and let you all resolve that.
okay.
I do want to talk to Rem, but not right now.
Wait, but did Saya like show interest in him before?
No.
Is that why this is happening? You're just trying to start.
Yeah, we're just trying to start
fawning over him.
Yeah, because he's a hot air genasi. We're like, hey, he's into elemental shit, girl.
Ooh, you gonna get him full of hot air.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if Saya is impressed with physical, just pure. I mean, like physical in terms of like she might be impressed by some like feat of strength or
he might be
leadership or something, like just something showing his power.
Totally.
Well, you should still like go talk to him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't
Wait a
pressure
second.
her.
You just showed him a feat of strength, cunning, and power. He picked our. No, you did. Wait, are you saying you want him to see that from you?
No, I would want to see that from someone in order to be interested in them. Probably. I'm assuming that's what Saya would.
We're role playing right now. We're role playing. We're having this discussion in the back of the choppa. Like Saya, he just picked us up. Like, and you saw what that bell did. When I rang one, he looks like he does that for a living.
Well, if you like him so much, why don't you go talk to him?
Are you missing Aaron?
I am. It's because he's got the word air, Aaron.
Oh.
No, I thought you might be into that type of dude because like you guys are. I'm not attracted to him. I think he's cute for sure, but like I'm definitely not trying to. I still have a lot of feelings for Aaron. That was only like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and it was only like 2 weeks ago for Saya with her big emotional arc. I don't know if she could.
She's ready to love.
She's ready to be
Jump
mellow
on
for
that.
a very long time.
Yeah. So, well, that was a crescendo, and then we got right back down to normal. Like, oh.
I mean, if you keep telling her to do it, she probably will. She'll probably just be like, fine, okay, I'll keep him company. But she's just having a blast right now, being up in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, we do take a moment to comfort you again because we're talking about Aaron. We're like, oh, yeah, girl.
Sorry, everybody's confused. We saved Faelyn 2 days ago. It wasn't weeks.
What?
It wasn't weeks. We got out of. It was only like 2 days.
Wait, when
No, we
Rem
were
got
gone for,
taken?
like a week.
No, we had to go right back. I thought it was like a couple of hours. Like we got back, we spent like the night like doing our thing.
No, it was like 2 weeks later.
No, we prepared. Yeah, we prepared for this mission for a little bit.
Did we? I thought it was just like a couple days.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, the Space Hamster Boo says there was a week between arcs for plannings and such. I thought it was like 2 days.
Nah.
Okay.
So, what were you trying to say though, or does it doesn't matter anymore?
Doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
That let's ask Celeste. I want to be 100% sure. Celeste, how much time has passed since the end of Saya's arc?
So we took like a week.
1 week. Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Okay. Sorry, my cats are screaming. I had to feed them. They're like, okay, cool. So yeah, you guys pass like about an hour or so, short rest. So go ahead and spend hit die if you want.
I don't think I was touched.
Well, aren't you cool?
Yeah,
I
lucky.
know.
I get your strength back, Arnadell.
I get all of it back, right?
Yes.
For a short rest?
Short or long rest.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
All right.
yeah.
So as you're flying merrily along for about an hour in this carriage, and then all of a sudden, the carriage rocks really, really violently. It's like you hear scattering sounds of feet on the bottom of the carriage all of a sudden, and it jolts and spins a hard left as the carriage is swung almost an entire like 180. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, good. I'm so good at those. Ha! Natural 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
Wait, I'm going to use my gift of the past to re-roll that.
Okay.
Hey!
Sweet. As the carriage just swings like a hard left, everything, you're all thrown about crazily. And Kara, you feel yourself, the left door of the passage door opens up and flies open. So now you can see the gray clouds below you, and water starts hitting you from the side, and you catch a glimpse of this weird insect-like creature and these 2 large shining eyes, and you hear a buzzing sound coming from, and you're like, no, as you feel yourself falling, and then activate your power.
On my second roll, I got a 7.
Oh, cool.
Can I cast a reaction?
Not quite. It's catastrophic.
Yeah.
I rolled a 23. Can I incorporate like reaching out to grab?
Yeah, give it 1 second. And Saye, what did you get? What?
21.
Okay. And I've got to roll for Mannequin Rem.
I bet her dex save is great too.
She's fine. And then roll for Blue Man. Okay. And my horses. Okay. Oop. All right. So Kara, you just like take a minute again and like just save yourself from completely just falling straight shot out of the bottom of the carriage, but you still hit the door as it opens up. So you manage to get 2 handholds on the side of the carriage. So you're basically hanging off of the door at this point. Your feet are dangling. You are way, way far above ground at this point. And as you're hanging on the carriage, you come face to face with the thing that attacked the side of this. It's a huge dragonfly that has just landed on the bottom of the carriage and rammed its weight in. So you hear the buzzing of these 4 wings on either side. So you're face to face with these 2 multifaceted eyes. And seated on the back of this creature is a warrior.
Is something writing it?
Uh-huh.
Oh
is
my God.
a warrior of some kind dressed in the same tabards that you saw the guards wearing at the main palace. And it's wearing this like elaborate helmet that has this sharp point and then these 2 little like insectoid wings reflecting off of it. And so you're face to face with a spear as this thing is leveling at you. And why don't you go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage since you're in a little bit of a perilous situation here.
Yeah. All right, that's a 13.
Okay. So looking around, you don't see, but you hear the sounds of other buzzing wings from somewhere beyond your position. So we're gonna go ahead and all roll initiative to start resolving this situation.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
I don't
I
even question it anymore. I should just assume you get a natural 20.
I got an 11.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
We should harmonize every time we give our initiatives.
Oh, that would go well.
9.
We can't even clap at the same time. How can we harmonize? That'd be terrible. Okay. All right, so Kara, you are up first. So you take all of this in. You are hanging suspended above a very long drop, and there is a spear right in front of you, in front of your face. And a big ol' freaking dragonfly.
She's sweating bullets because she hates not being on the ground.
Yep.
And with one of her hands, she is going to hang there and then try and swing and grab the creature's spear. And
Okay. So
to swing and then try and latch onto it.
All right. So I'm going to need you to make a dexterity for me to see if you can pull off this maneuver.
This is gonna be
So you can why don't you can give me an athletics or an acrobatics to try and do this.
Oh my god. Guys, this might be where I die.
No,
And do it.
I won't let you die, Kara.
14.
14. Okay. So you managed to keep a hand on the carriage, and you're just reaching out to try and grab the spear?
Yeah, because she wants to kind of use it as a leverage to swing onto it eventually.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
right.
roll to attack. So an unarmed attack.
It's a 10.
Okay. So you definitely don't grab the spear. This warrior, you can't tell its gender, much else about it, but it definitely swings its spear as it sees what you're trying to do, and it smacks your hand against the bottom of the carriage. So now your hand really freaking hurts, and you're just swinging by one arm, dangling over the land far below you. All right, and then it is the rider's turn, and you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna go for your other wrist that is hanging on with its spear.
That's fair. I understand. I would too.
Ooh,
Oh no.
ooh! I got a natural 20.
Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh Cara, no.
Okay. So it just stabs its spear slices across your wrist, and you feel this horrible pain, and you let go. You let go of the carriage, and you feel yourself beginning to fall.
Cara screams aloud. Fuck!
Fuck. Okay. All right. So you are dropping, and you see on your turn you can do something. Got it. Okay. So you. Yep.
I do it. Is it me?
No. So you see as you're falling, Kara, several other of these shapes emerge from the gray, rainy clouds around you. You see at least 4 other of these dragonflies, all wielding riders.
Oh, fuck.
Swarming on the carriage. Okay, and then Brittany, now it is your turn.
Okay. I do straight up push myself off of the helicopter and swan dive.
The helicopter?
Yeah, it's a helicopter,
Sure.
guys.
No,
It's a blue
actually, yeah.
horse-driven helicopter. So the horse's tails
Yes, spinning in propellers to keep. That's actually how they're doing it. You didn't see it before, but yeah.
So I
They both have little sirens stuck to their heads too that are going pew pew pew.
I leap the fuck out of the horse carriage, and I bear hug Kara, and I cast Fly, and I can do that for both of us.
So, question: do you have to be touching Kara to cast that spell?
Yes, that's why I leapt out of the helicopter and grabbed her.
Got it. So I'm definitely going to need you to make some kind of maneuver to try and catch Kara. You are throwing yourself out of a moving vehicle. So go ahead and give me an athletics or an acrobatics.
Okay.
Sky battle is making me more tense than any other battle we've had so far.
Yep.
I'm going to go with acrobatics because that's definitely higher. And I rolled a 15.
All right. So you catch Saya. You think you're going to miss her, but you, at the last minute, you grab out and catch her wrist. Or, I'm sorry, Kara. You reach out and grab her wrist. So the two of you are doing, like, you know, that couples diving thing when you're just connected like this across with your two arms out and holding hands. And you cast Fly.
Cast Fly.
All right. What is the fly speed that you get, and how long does that last?
It's a concentration spell up to 10 minutes, and I get a 60 feet, flying speed of 60 feet.
Whoa. Okay. Sweet.
So I think we should. How far up are we?
Off the ground?
Yeah. What is our altitude?
I want to say like half a mile.
Okay.
Half a mile? There are clouds below us, though, aren't there?
You
A
can
mile.
have clouds half a mile.
If it's
fog.
rainy AF.
Yeah, you can definitely have clouds that low to the ground. I want to descend as fast as possible because this is fuck. I mean, there's nothing else I can do, so yeah.
Take out the other fucking dragonfly riders in the air, mid-air.
That's true. We
All
could do that. Now we can fly.
Yeah. So with the 60 feet, the 60 feet fly speed, you can keep pace with the carriage. The carriage is moving also at 60 feet, so you're not in danger of being left behind.
Tight. That's it.
And there, as Fly is cast, it's incredibly jarring because you are both free falling, and then all of a sudden, like that jerk of like not anymore. So you're just hovering midair, like being beaten by rain and dragonflies everywhere, and the carriage. All right, and then Nassim.
I want to take out my what's it called? Crossbow, I guess. And try and shoot for what is the nearest dragonfly rider, the one who is below our carriage.
Right. So since your carriage turned a complete 90 degrees, so if you there's the carriage doors open on the bottom, and you're like standing on either side of it right now, basically. So the closest one is theoretically just off to your right on the other 90 degrees, but you can't see it, but you can feel it still attached to the carriage. And then the other riders all around you, I would say there's like two visible within 20 feet. One far to the left of the carriage and one far to the right, like flying underneath it.
Okay. You're frozen. Are you still talking?
Me?
Oh, okay. No, your image was frozen, so I didn't know if you were still talking.
No.
Whatever I have, I guess, is there any window that I can shoot out of?
Yeah, so right now, so the passenger door is totally open below you, so you've got a door-sized space that you can look down, and you see directly below it Kara and Arnadell are holding hands, like on the level of where the dragonflies are. And then there is the door on the other side, so if you were to open, you could reach over and open up the top door.
Okay, I do that. And I get out there and try and be like a turret with my crossbow.
Sure. Are you standing so you're opening up the door? Are you climbing out to stand on the carriage, or are you just getting a position?
I'm hopping up and sitting on top of the outside.
Okay, sure. Love it. Yeah. So you could definitely get a vantage point on the two that are flanking far below you. And now that you're on top of the carriage, you can see that further in the distance, the shapes that Kara was able to see of the two other riders that are trailing a little bit further back. So they're about 50 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the guy on my right first.
Okay, the one who is attached to the carriage?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like reaching over and leaning down, and you see, just the dragonfly, the long body, the butt is sticking out below it, and it's climbing on. It's horrible. Looks terrifying.
Ooh, take out those dragonflies.
Go for it. All right, let me pull a stat. All right.
I'd rather take out the rider than the dragonfly.
Dragonflies can bite and shit, right? I wonder if they're trained to fight.
I don't know.
Can they bite?
I don't think they're very I think they're harmless. I think they're just doing their job.
Yeah, they're just the speed.
In Japan, dragonflies are a symbol of martial prowess.
So these are martially prowessed steeds.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what that means, but
sounds great.
So I'm rolling to hit?
Yes. So the knight or the dragonfly? Which one are you attacking?
Oh, the knight.
Okay.
15.
All right. You fire crossbow shot, and it just bounces off the thick armor that these things are wearing. It just shatters.
Fuck.
Wow.
Extra attack, because did I qualify for extra attack?
Yeah, I think so. You should just be able to take another attack.
Yeah, I can attack. All right, then I attack again, and this time I'll go for... Fuck. I'll try to go for the dragonfly.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Unnatural 20.
Okay. Yes, you definitely hit the dragonfly. So go ahead and roll damage.
That's gonna be 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you get a great shot in on one of these creatures, and you just hit it like right in the middle of its long kind of body, so right by where the saddle is on this thing, and you hear like a kind of sound as it just tears itself away from the carriage and veers, making a sharp dive, and you see the rider like pull up on the reins of this thing and try to get it back into control. And the carriage itself lurches again as the weight has now gone off of it. So it swings wildly as the horses are trying to right itself. So go ahead and give me a dexterity save. And Rem and Rana will also make one.
Oh, fuck. 11.
Okay. Yep. So as the carriage rights and it's swinging back around here, so you weren't expecting that. So you get caught like as your body hangs half in, half out. So your legs slide inside the carriage, and you get like the wind knocked out of you as right in the gut, like you're hanging down basically bent at a 90-degree angle. So your head and your arms are like flailing off into the wind below. And your legs are still attached. And you feel yourself beginning to slide with the weight, but you feel a pair of strong hands keep you from moving out as Rem's mannequin hands have caught you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then you begin to hear yelling from the front of the caravan. As it comes up and it rights itself again, and you hear the screams of horses as they're scared and confused. But the carriage manages to come back into control, and Rana yells out, "Get to the crossbows on the side of the carriage. They'll do a lot more damage in the air." And
I didn't see them when...
You didn't. You can go ahead and give me a perception check, since you can hear what's going on.
Perception. That's a 15.
Okay. So looking at the side of the carriage, now that you have this great position, you can just like kind of peek your head up. There are these two large, they look like just wood panels from the side. But now that you look at them, they look like strap-on containers, sort of, that are about 2 feet long. And these painted boxes gilded in gold on either side of the caravan. So you could easily reach out and get whatever is inside this box.
Yeah.
And then Brittany and Sage, I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
I'm on fucking fire right now. I got an 8.
I got a 12.
Okay. A huge gust of wind just seems to come from nowhere as you see clouds and everything begin to swirl together in this pattern forming just below the carriage, and it blasts backwards. So it hits all of the 5 now dragonflies that are back and pushes them away as they're struggling to try and stay in the air. Just this sudden gale of wind. It also catches both of you, however, and you are just pushed back from the carriage now. So the carriage continues speeding on for another 60 feet while you all are just holding in the air, fighting back this gust that's coming. So now you are both 60 feet away from the carriage, with the dragonflies towards where you are and the carriage just pushing on forward. Okay. And then Nassim, you see Rem reaches over to the other side in one of these boxes, and she draws out of this box. It's this really ornately, beautifully carved crossbow, but it looks like heavy and huge, like way bigger than your puny crossbow. And it's got these patterns of wind, like designs carved into it. And so she sort of just sits down on the edge of the carriage and hunkers down and is like patrolling the skies for something to come towards the carriage. All right, and then Kara.
All right, so Arnadell and I have a plan.
All right. So excited about my plan.
Can you read reference?
Yes. So I'm going to strap my shield to my back, and then Arnie's gonna like sit like with her like legs wrapped around me with the shell over her, or with the shield over her, and I'm gonna like hang on to her, and we're gonna fly around and fuck up some shit.
I love it.
You're riding, Kara.
Around in the
I
skies.
am your noble steed.
Super Kara.
That's awesome.
It's just
This
so
is
that if I
fantastic.
get dinged, I have at least a shield so it doesn't break my concentration.
Kara's flying carriage.
We're the death tortoise from hell.
All right.
I'm so
we're-
jealous, by the way, that you
Totally
guys are
metal.
like actually flying.
Oh god, it's so good. Okay. What are you attacking with this beautiful combo?
The nearest
Sure.
rider.
So yeah, all 5 of them have been pushed back by this gust of wind, and Arnadell, you see that this was clearly a spell that was sent out from probably Rana up the top to keep them all off the carriage. So
I
that's
would
still
just advocate that whoever rider they approach first is like stunned by the vision of an elf riding.
Yeah, do we
They
get
get
like
What? Go ahead.
advantage?
make an intimidation check. For me.
She's still got blood and shit all over her face, and she's screaming and
Yeah. So do you want to zoom in? One of the dragonflies is clearly damaged and not doing as well, so it's actually falling way behind. But the other 4, look, they're all in similar condition, and they're all within 20 feet of you.
I rolled a goddamn 22 to intimidate.
Wow.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Do we just mean mug the fuck? Like, you know, whenever you're playing like road racing and you're just like like Cruella de Vil it.
Guy.
Yeah, you're like, nope. You want to go?
We are too tired for this shit right now.
They're wearing pretty like intense helmets, so you're not sure if they're scared, but some of the dragonflies definitely like veer away and they go and like start doing these little half like circle maneuvers.
Just
the
like
Luigi face. That
And
is the Luigi
like-
face. Do you guys know what that is from Mario Kart, the modern version of Mario Kart, the Luigi death stare?
No.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
Google it after our stream tonight. It's the funniest shit ever.
in the
Okay.
replay.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Okay. Whose turn is it?
It's your turn. So
Oh.
are you attacking one of these?
Yeah.
They're very scared of you.
I'm gonna
so
attack
how are
the
you attacking?
riders, not the
Okay.
dragonflies, because
Yeah, we'll
the
go
sound that I heard the sound that one made, and it was not cute. It was sad. So I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast, Agonizing Blast.
Nice.
I'm gonna use Gift of the Future.
Gift of
Uh,
the future.
That forces somebody else to reroll something. So you cannot use that
Right
in
on.
this instance.
I have a point of inspiration. No, I don't. That's a lie. That was from another.
You're using
That's
an
from
Eldritch
another
You know
game.
what? I will give you and Kara a point of inspiration for
Okay.
this incredible
Aw,
maneuver.
yay.
Thank you. Sorry, I
Of
was
course.
really pulling for that one, but that was not good.
Oh, I still
fuck
have my point of
yes!
inspiration.
Okay, thank you for that point of inspiration. I just rolled a natural 20. My dice are pulling a sage and giving me hell and heaven. I had a 1, and now I have a natural 20. So natural 20 to hit with Eldritch Blast, Agonizing Blast at the rider closest to
Crazy.
us.
All right, go for it. Roll your damage.
Hell yeah. And I'm using 2 beams on... Actually, I'm going to use 2 beams on 2 separate
Okay.
separate riders. So the first beam, are you ready? Are
You
you
have
ready?
to roll for each beam.
So the first beam deals 15 damage.
Okay.
And the second beam rolls 13 damage.
Okay. Let me just double check that they don't have any funny business. They do not have any funny business. All right. So you hit both of these riders, and they are just totally stunned, and you think probably terrified based on what's happening, and their dragonflies are already like, nope. And so they get blasted with this energy, and they both veer off and kind of drop out of the formation that's happening and fall back behind with the injured dragonfly from before. So now you've got 2 that are still sailing at full speed right by you.
Word.
The knights certainly aren't down,
Yeah.
but they've realized this is maybe not the best tactical position. All right, and then moving on to Nassim. What's up?
So now I'm at this other crossbow turret thing.
Hell yeah.
Wherever the closest other rider is, I'm aiming for them.
Okay, sure. So there are 2 that are still like really flanking with your companions, and now they're all 60 feet away from you. And then you can see the other 3 have kind of fallen back behind.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the Space Hamster Booze comments. It's pretty funny.
I'm curious. Tell us one of them.
So not gonna lie, if I saw an elf... Sorry.
If I saw an elf flying on a dwarf, I would make peace with my gods. Because this is how I die.
Okay.
It's a sight to see.
Oh my god.
So like the riding dragonflies, well, we can do that too.
Okay.
I'm closing.
So-
I'm not looking at Twitch anymore.
So, Saye, these crossbows are specifically designed for air defense, and you will get a +10 when firing with these crossbows, and they deal 3d8 damage.
Damn.
Ooh. I
Damn.
like that. Let's
They
go
are
for-
heavy. They're more like cannons than crossbows.
Let's do it.
Good quality shit.
I aim in at the closest one. It's 60 feet away, but I aim in at him.
Yep. Do it. Roll the heck.
Sorry, I've got
Don't roll like shit.
giggle juice in my beer tonight.
You said it's a plus 10 to hit, or that's strength?
To hit.
And I'm not proficient in it. Do I add strength to it as well?
It'd be dexterity.
Oh. Ooh.
But don't add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Well, that's still a 21.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
Mhm.
So roll your damage.
Mhm.
Which is what? What's the damage?
So
You said
3d8 plus
3d8.
your dexterity modifier.
God damn it.
Ba-ba-da! Da-da-da!
Yep.
Oh,
She's rolling on the floor.
14.
What a
It's-
pro.
I
This is
see
a good
carpet
one.
on that floor though, so it's all good.
21 damage.
Whoa! So
Nice.
as you shoot off this thing, you weren't quite expecting the force of it. It's like the arrow itself is surrounded by an extra layer of just air that form, and it flies true to its purpose, and you see it smash into this rider. And yep, they've super failed. The force of it is enough, so you two see from your close position, Kara and Arnadel, this
Mhm.
rider just gets torn off of their saddle and blown backwards off the dragonfly from the force of the hit, and you see him trying to scramble to like catch the tail of this thing, but it's too late, and he goes plummeting off, and you hear a shrill scream.
What is it, the Willem scream?
Ah! Like,
It's Wilhelm, the Wilhelm scream.
yeah.
Yes.
And this dragonfly now doesn't know what to do. It makes like that sad dog kind of thing where it like looks at its buddies and looks down, and then it just turns around and starts flying back,
Oh,
far speeding away from all of you, like it's going back to
Good.
home base.
good.
Okay, so there are 4 left. 1 is uninjured, and the other 3 have taken some kind of damage. All right, and then Rem is going to fire a shot at this other uninjured rider. Super hit. Okay. This rider rolled a natural 1 on their dexterity. This is terrible. So the same thing happened. All of a sudden, these 2 crossbow bolts launch simultaneously from you both at the carriage and smash into these riders, and they just go, yep, both of them flying off. And the dragonfly does exactly the same thing and turns tail and follows its buddy going back. And you can see the other dragonflies at this point start like erratically moving back and forth with each other, like not sure whether to follow their friends or to keep going. So I'm going to make an animal handling check.
We spooked him.
Forgot about my extra 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to say these can only fire 1 shot per round because you
Yeah.
actually have to like crank to get another one. Okay. And one of the riders just isn't able to control his dragonfly. I'm going to call it's the injured one. And the dragonfly, he's like, and like pulling on the reins and like trying to get it to go forward. And it's just not having any of it and just spirals out. And you see the reins slip away. And the guy's just like holding up his hands as the dragonfly goes back and follows the 2 that are flying away. So there are only 2 left now.
Nice.
All right. And then you all, so the 2 of you, the carriage shifts at this point. It was hanging a northwest course, but now it turns sharply a little bit to the northeast as it's going. And you can see that it heads now, it's not going towards like this big ocean in the distance any longer. It's heading off towards this cluster of trees and like this large forest off on to the northeast as it's going. But the transition is really smooth.
God.
So the carriage has definitely come back under control.
Are we gonna land in the wilds?
On the map, map of the country, it would seem you're heading not towards the wilds any longer, but towards the Valley of Yalathanel,
Oh, okay.
which
That's
is elf country. Okay, and then Kara.
All right. Harney, I say we turn tail towards the carriage.
I'm gonna
then
dash.
Your blast off of while we're going.
Okay, do you want to dash to the carriage?
I can't really dash. I'm more of a fly. Because we're not running.
Can you dash while flying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Making a joke.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second.
No, there's no dash.
You just believe in fairies harder. And then you can fly faster.
Yeah.
Yes. So she will use her action to dash towards the carriage.
Excellent. So you go zooming off, holding an Arnadel, and you make it just to the carriage at the end of your turn. So you have landed back in. And then the riders at this point, so what they're going to do, they're going to hang back. So they actually pull back in a way and lower themselves down, you think, to get out of your range, but they're still very much following you wherever you're going. So now they're not offensive, but they're just tailing you. And then Britt.
Blast some fuckers again. I got 2 beams.
I'm pretty sure you have to roll for each beam.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Yeah.
That's chill. So the first beam is going to be a 16.
That will not hit. Sorry.
Okay. I don't add anything, right? That was just 16 naked. Okay.
You add your spell attack bonus.
Oh, well, in that case, that's I thought it was just to damage. Sorry.
Nope.
No, spell attack bonus is not added to damage.
Gotcha.
Spell attack.
It's all the same.
Damage.
Okay, so that'd be a 16 plus 8, so a 24 to hit the first one.
That will hit.
And then the second one's going to be an 18 plus 8, which is what, 29?
Will also hit. Yes.
All right, so let's roll the damage for both of those. Beam 1 does 7 damage.
Okay.
Beam 2 does 1 damage.
Okay. So you send these off, and the Eldritch power splatters over these 2 knights, and you see they actually pull back even further.
Fuck, I forgot to add my charisma modifier. That's what I'm forgetting. It's been so long since I've used Eldritch
You doing
Blast.
an agonizing blast?
Agonizing Blast, yeah. You add your charisma modifier. So for both of those, just add 5 to each of the damage.
So minus 12 and a minus 6.
Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
It's been a minute.
And you can clearly see now that these creatures, after that, move even further back to the point where you can no longer see them because it is raining and the clouds totally cover where they are. And you've all made it back to the carriage. And at this point, Rana begins screaming to all of you over the wind and the sounds of screaming, terrified horses. We're going to land in the valley. I think these will still be tailing us. Perhaps we can seek shelter there. We can't return to the keep with them following us. Are you ready? Are you ready to descend?
Yeah. I think so.
And with that, there is a sharp nosedive maneuver that suddenly happens as the horses are ran in, and all of you are like just back and manage to close the doors as the carriage begins to soar downwards, heading towards these huge old trees and this forest right below you. And that's where we're going to end for today. Because that's an appropriate ending spot, close enough to our end time. Big air battle, you guys.
That's pretty cool.
I want to illustrate our tortoise of death.
Yeah.
Please, somebody out there, get the flying tortoise of death to become an awesome thing. All right, well, everybody, stick around. I know Brittany and I will at least be hanging out in our after hours conversation on our Discord server. So if you guys want to pop over there, let me go ahead and get that. Did somebody put that link in the chat?
Should we stop our Audacity?
No, keep going for right now.
Oh,
I don't have this. Sorry, I don't have the Discord.
All right, I am putting the link in the chat right here if you want to come hang out with us after the stream. Okay, it's in there. But Anyway, thank you all for sticking around a little bit later, and I have been your dungeon master, Celeste Konowich.
I've been your airborne elven warlock, Arna Delethil, played by Brittany.
I was your human monk, Sayanur, played by Nassim.
I'm Sage, and I played the magical flying Kara.
Yay! Everybody with magic and flying. Well, you know, guys, until next time.
Venture away.
Venture away! All right, good night, everybody.